It's Friday then. It's Saturday, Sunday. What? It's Friday then. Saturday, Sunday. What? Yeah, it's okay.
What's up? This is Jeff. Welcome to Jeff's podcast. It's the fifth season of the show, and we're in episode 101. 101 is the favorite number, by the way. So, for those who listen on Spotify or watch on YouTube, thank you so much for supporting this show. 2021 will be a story to remember, and there will be good times and bad times. And 2022 will be the start of the new year with new faces, new challenges, and new surprises. Today, we're talking about the Winter 2022 anime titles, and most of the animated series has plenty of new seasons, and the continuation of the animated series came from the previous seasons that happened last year. So, I'm going to check out the list of the upcoming Winter 2022 anime titles that you're going to watch for. Before the start of the topic, the Cosplay Mini Matsuri event has been sold out as a hybrid event, which is a mix of online and physical after North American conventions are slowly opening their doors for the anime conventions, and they require tightly strict health restrictions, such as the proof of vaccination card that contains two doses of vaccine, which is fully vaccinated, and booster shots, which is also optional, and wearing face masks before entering the event for the employees, the guests, and the fans. The event was held at the SMX Convention Center Mall of Asia, just beside the Mall of Asia Mall in Pasay City, held last December 28, 29, and 30th. Despite that, the number of COVID confirmed cases have risen, and the detection of the COVID variants, such as Delta, and the latest is the Omicron. I expect that the COVID confirmed cases will be lowered before 2022 or even the holidays. But there's a detection of the COVID Omicron variant here in the Philippines back in December 2021, and the number of COVID confirmed cases bounced back to rise the number of new confirmed cases after the Christmas break. I suggest that it is better not to attend large crowd gatherings, unlike what happened to the Otakute cosplay event back in December 2021. But the organizer releases a statement after Facebook user Florenio Yabara's cosplay posted a video of a congoer who faints after the event, where it can cause a large crowd gathering and a crowd crush. Come to think of it, the Cosplay Mini Matsuri event has turned out that an anime event that transforms into MiHoYoCon, also known as GenshinCon, or maybe call it Genshin Impact Con or GenshinCon. Don't ask about saying Genshin after what happened in the Game Awards event, where the Genshin becomes Genshin. Say, Osin and Cosplay.ph, when it's going to make a MiHoYoCon, aka HoYoCon, at the anime convention after the MiHoYo Fest, aka HoYo Fest, back in November 2021 at Moon Rabbit Cafe and Restaurant in San Juan. Let's get things started for the show, and there are plenty of new seasons of their favorite anime shows, such as Hajime Isayama's Attack on Titan The Final Season Part 2, Cygames' Princess Connect Redive Season 2, Jun Mochizuki's The Case Study of Vanita Season 2, Nocho Maru and Fuyuyuki's How a Realist Hero Rebuilt the Kingdom Season 2, and Kazuya Minekura's Sayuki Reload Seroin, which is the fifth season of Sayuki anime. Attack on Titan The Final Season Part 2 is the second part of Isayama's final anime season, which is the continuation of the fourth season after airing the first part of the anime aired from December 2020 to March 2021, and they did make it to be nominated at the 2021 Crunchyroll Anime Awards back in February 2021. There are also anime favorites including Soichiro Yamamoto's Teasing Master Takagi-san when the anime returns for the third season. My angry friend dislikes Takagi-san because she teases him, and it is popular as seen on the manga websites. And the late anime titles including Link and Kotaro Shono's Worlds End Harem, where the anime is expected to air in October 2021, but they only aired one episode, and the entire episode has been delayed due to animation quality. So they're pushed to its January 2022 airing date. the production team needs to restart the first episode of the anime. There are also new shows such as Liber Entertainment's Q, Shinichi Fukuda's My Dress Up Darling, Yu Saki and Shin Ikesawa's Fabiniku, Life with an Ordinary Guy Who Reincarnated into a Troll of Fantasy Knockout, Toro Toba's The Genius Prince's Guide to Raising a Nation Out of Debt, Heroes Akebi Sailor Uniform, Ayakano's Requiem of the Rose King, Fez Love of Kill, Seas and Ten Muscles in the Land of Leedale, Shinobu Otaka's Orient, Hirotsugu Ryusen and Fushi Choko's She Professed Herself Pupil of the Wise Man, Shinko Soto and Hoka Kasabana's The Strongest Sage with the Weakest Crest, Sho Hausono's Sasaki and Miyano, and Miko Yasu's Police in a Pod. Let's check things out for the anime recommendations for the winter 2022 anime season. And first up on the list is Shinichi Fukuda's My Dress Up Darling. It's a dress-up romantic comedy centered on a first-year high school student Wakana Gocho, who dreams of becoming a Hina doll craftsman until he encounters popular high school classmate gal Marin Kitagawa, sees him making doll costumes in the school's clothing room. She wanted to make a cosplay and Wakana has sewing skills, but he hasn't experience in making costumes on a human scale. This series is a reference from Kotaba Inoya's Smile Down the Runway, centers on Ikuto Sumura, an aspiring fashion designer who wanted to make fashion clothes, and Chiyuki Fujito, a fashion model who wants to walk down on the runway to participate in the Paris fashion show, despite her short height. This show is definitely interesting in making cosplay, where Wakana is a professional craftsman and Marin is a professional cosplayer who wants to show her stuff with their favorite anime and game characters. And come to think of it, is the anime is ecchi, but technically, sometimes it's a yes, but some it's a slice of life romantic comedy. If you want to go for a cosplay making showdown, then this show is definitely just for you. Next up is Liber Entertainment's Q, and it's based on the Boys Idol Racing smartphone app of the same name. Centers on 16 young girls as they strive their way to the top of becoming professional voice actresses. I've been watching voice acting teen shows such as Masumi Asano and Kenshiro Hata's Sei's Life, where the trio members of Earphones consist of Ri Takahashi, Maika Kono, and Yuki Nagaku are playing their roles as they strive their way to reach voice acting stardom. In Q, there are four groups: Flower, Bird, Wind, and Moon. These girls strive their way to the top, but sometimes there's clumsiness for the girls. The show featured talented artists featuring the members of the J-pop girl group Dialogue Plus who play their roles in the anime. Next is Ayakano's Requiem of the Rose King, and it's a dark fantasy historical romance drama, centers which are loosely based on the Shakespearean plays Henry VI, Part 3, and Richard III. The series follows the character of Richard III during the tumultuous Wars of the Roses period in English history. As the Kingdom of England is torn between the House of York and the House of Lancaster, each claiming their leader to be the rightful king, young Prince Richard III is fighting a battle within himself. Despised by his mother, adored by his father, and alienated from most others, he grapples with frightful spirits haunting him, unsteady and unintentional alliances with his enemies, and his own passion for a throne. Voice actress Mitsuki Saiga is the only voice actress to return her role, as Richard III came from the drama CD in the manga volumes. He is the third son of Richard, Duke of York, the younger brother of Edward IV and George, and eventually the third and final Yorkist King of England. He or she is an intersex character of the series. The animated series won for two coins, where the animated series adapts the entire manga. Of course, the series has already been finished by this month, which is January, and they'll adapt the novel adaptation based on the manga, where Yo Makusu is penning the novel. It also adapted into a spin-off drawn by Kineko Abekawa, centers on becoming idols. This is interesting if you're going to watch Shakespeare's play, then this manga is definitely to recommend. Next is Shinobu Otaka's Orient, and the story centers on two best friends, Musashi and Kochio Kanemaki, as they aim to become the greatest bushi to face against the rule of Oni in Japan's Sengoku period. These boys have to face many adventures and hardships during their journey, including fighting against Onis and meeting with new friends and foes that are able to realize their dreams. The story was inspired by Japan's Sengoku period, with its warring states and samurais, as they come across with many familiar names from the history books through this fantasy. However, it also contains many elements of the Japanese folklore stories, with some modern features as well. For those who know about Shinobu Otaka, she is the manga creator behind the hit manga series Magi, and the story is mediocre and predictable. And last on the list is Shohei Sono's Sasaki and Miyano. And I think BL or Boys Club or Yaoi fans will definitely be interested to see about the show. The story centers on Sasaki Shumei, a bright and cheerful yet troublesome upperclassman who can be rash and impulsive, acting or speaking without thinking of the consequences or the people around him. And Miyano Yoshikazu, a not terribly outgoing but nor is he very shy with a fair few close friends and good relationships with his classmates, both present and previous. The cast from the previous drama series are returning their roles for the anime, including voice actors Yusuke Shirai and Soma Saito are playing the roles of Sasaki and Miyano. The show features both characters completely respecting each other's boundaries they have to develop for themselves. Okay, so that's about it for the recommendations for the winter 2022 anime season. And we're talking about the upcoming Crunchyroll Anime Awards, where the list of nominees will be announced on January 18th of 2022, and the winners will be announced on February 9th of 2022. This year's award focuses on the 2021 anime shows. And remember the last time when Hajime Isayama's Attack on Titan was not received nomination for the Crunchyroll Anime Awards in 2021, and the second season of Koyohawa Gotege's Demon Slayer might possibly get nominated at this year's Crunchy Awards, so they have to submit the anime for the award. It'll never happen when Attack on Titan did appear in the Anime Awards. There are reasons why Attack on Titan will not appear in the award event. It's because the show must be animated, primary production for the title must have taken place in Japan, it was broadcast online or on television in Japan, at least in part, and at least one episode must have received initial and legal distribution in the US. This could be difficult if one of your favorites might submit for the nominations. I'm looking forward to see what's in store for the upcoming award event and the results that happen next month. If you have comments or suggestions, let us know in the comments. Follow Jeff11 Manchester on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and subscribe to youtube.com/kfaboy. But that's about it for Jeff's podcast. This is Jeff. We'll see you in the next podcast.